Hello, welcome to this pick a card reading. It's going to be about your relationship. Now, I recommend taking a moment, feeling into each of these elements before selecting one. The first element is earth. The second element is air. The third element is fire. And the fourth element is water. You can pause this if you need extra time. And then once you've made your selection, skip ahead to that reading. I'll talk to you in a moment. Hello to the pile one, those who selected the earth element. So first of all, I'm just going to hit off on, sorry about that, the earth element itself. It is a very grounding energy. So hopefully this reading indicates that you're in a very grounded relationship or what is needed in order to heal it. I also think a lot of the root chakra is coming to mind a lot. So this may be about security and solidifying the foundation of the relationship. Now let's get into the reading. Let's start up for pile one. You may hear my dog in the background. She has suddenly gotten very active. So let's just go with the flow. So this is a card that's kind of representing the relationship. And we have uncharted seas. So this may be a new relationship, or you guys may be in uncharted territory within the relationship. So some new events or situations that have come up that you've never dealt with or had to deal with in the past. Or you're entering a new phase of married life. Perhaps you're newlyweds, or perhaps you've had the first child, or all of the children have just now left the house and it's just the two of you again. So in a way, getting to know each other in this new phase of life. Now let's see what each person, move this over a little bit, how each person is showing up in the relationship. We have person A as squaring the circle. So this is someone who is kind of probably has a bit of a laid back energy. It's just they roll with the punches or they go with the flow. They have a very strong philosophical view of the world or of this relationship in particular. Sometimes that might get on the nerve of the partner, but they're always willing to look into something and delve deep into the relationship or into whatever is going on. Other person or person B, direction. So this person may like to have a very strong sense of direction for the relationship. And this might be a challenging time then for this for person B because you're in uncharted territory and you don't necessarily have a map for this. So you don't know what direction it's going to go. So this person could be feeling a bit unnerved. Yeah, we can see the jaggedness that we have here. And they're seeking a specific direction and answers. So this person may like things to be more logical and mapped out and charted, to have a plan, to want the facts. Whereas this person is, well, let's just see what happens. We'll figure it out as we go. So there could be a very good balance here, or they could get on each other's nerves. Let's see what it is that each person needs to heal to help improve this relationship or grow the relationship. Person A, they have self-regulation. So they could be somebody who goes off on a tangent or kind of, I want to say daydream kind of thing, where their feet aren't always firmly planted on the ground. And yet, if you heard that, that was my generator starting up, so it'll just be in the background. Self-regulation for this person who is very much ethereal in their thoughts, is how I want to say it, in their attitudes about things. So they need to heal that. They need to come to some way of grounding themselves in reality, in the present moment. And person B, knowledge. The need to always have that plan, the need to always have the logic, have things fixed in place. They need to learn from person A how to go with that flow. And person A needs to learn from person B that sometimes you do have to have a plan. Sometimes there has to be, you need to be present and understand what's going on in the situation. Have a backup, have some idea of what's going to happen for planning purposes. So you guys balance each other very well, even with, and can help each other or do help each other in these areas with healing. So it's feeling like a very strong, possibly a very long relationship, or where you've known each other a long time and you understand each other very well. And you really balance each other. Now let's look at your fear or hopes. This is supposed to be hopes. Person A, there are regrets. So how would we look at that as a hope? That there are regrets. When I look at the picture, that they're pouring out the cup or the vase and releasing things and letting go. So I am taking this and I'm feeling this as the ability to release any regrets. The knowledge that, yes, there are regrets. There are things we wish we had done different, that person A wishes they had done differently or wishes had gone differently. But they have hope of releasing that and letting those regrets go because it's in the past now. And you can't keep holding on to that in order, if the relationship were to grow or move beyond that. What are person B's fears? Ignoring the pain. This isn't fears, this is hopes. I keep saying fears. Should we move these to the fears position? I'm going to pull out the 2 cards for hope and see. See? I am reversing them. I am reversing them. Okay. We're just going to put them down. Does not mean the messages that came with this were invalid, but for some reason, I was pushing on the fears with these 2. So, person A, hope. Lessons are being taught. That there is growth, that there is change coming, that we're learning how to work together, how to navigate these new seas together. Person B's hopes. Someone is unhappy. Now, why would they hope that someone is unhappy? I don't think that they would. I think this feels about like airing the dirty laundry a little bit. So they want to, if there is an unhappiness going on, they want to know. They don't want to ignore the pain. They don't want to hold on to that unhappiness. They want to know why, and they want to fix it. So their hope is to solve that, is to make the other person happy and to make themselves happy. Whatever the solution is as you're moving through and navigating those waters, they want to do it together, and they want everybody to be happy about it. Hopes, or no, see, now we're on fears. These were the hopes. This was a hope. Now we're on fears. There are regrets. The fear is that you'll lose your way, that you'll get lost, that a relationship won't survive the new voyage. that you won't grow together. Wow, that's a deep one. That feels right. I get the kind of shimmy shivers going with that one. That you won't grow together through this experience. So that there is a fear of you guys losing touch with each other or not communicating as you're going through this process. There's a fear that you would grow apart or that you guys would regret whatever decision you decide to make here. Person B, their regret would be ignoring the pain. And I think this is related to someone isn't happy. They don't want to ignore that. The fear is that it might happen. They worry that they might miss the unhappiness in person A, which would cause them pain and ultimately the couple a pain as you're going through this process. And person B does not want that to happen. They like to have a plan, but they also really like this person to be happy, which in turn makes them happy. Wow. You guys are in a very giving relationship too. Let's see what the tarot says about the potential outcome if everything stays the same. What is the potential outcome of this relationship if everything stays the same? I have person A, the Six of Wands. Everything stays the same now. The person A is not going to be happy. They're going to feel like they've let people down. That there's just going to be a sense of disappointment, of defeat. So there is something that needs to be addressed right now as things stand right now. So you guys need to talk about this and what's going on. Person B, Six of Cups in reverse. Two sixes, both in reverse. This one is about a fear of losing that passion and excitement that you have in each other. This is a fear about losing that emotional connection, about not making new memories, but really about losing that connection between the two of you. But we have the Knight of Cups in the middle. Really need to focus on the romance of the relationship. New romantic experiences, going back to that sense of wonder when you guys first started going out or first met, stoking that fire. Focus on reconnecting in that way. What makes each of your hearts sing? Romance each other. Take each other out on dates, unexpected little treats, things like that. It should blossom again. I really like that in that place, especially between these two, where you guys are in this state of fear at the moment. So this must be a big change for you, a big shift in the relationship and how you guys interact or live together or live with each other. This could even be a retirement where now you're shifting roles, things are juggling. Yeah. You need to reset and recapture that romance or start a new romance with each of you as you are right now. And we have the Queen of Swords in reverse, connecting these two. Don't overthink things. Don't put a lot of thought into it. Don't over philosophize, if that's even a thing. Both of you tried to be very much in the moment, maybe some planning, but like an unplanned, unexpected treat for the other person, which is probably a very good thing for this person to do for the other person, is out of the blue buy some roses or invite them out for coffee in the morning or just something out of the usual. But don't overthink it. It should be kind of be like an impulsive in the moment thing. Is what it feels like. And be honest. Try not to hold back your thoughts. So you want open discussions. And if there's a feeling or a sense that that's not happening, you need to make that happen. But right now, this again is as things stand right now. On this side, we have the sun. So there is hope, there is joy, there is excitement. This feeling of freshness, of newness. Yeah. Yeah. Go. Riding horses on the beach in the nude. I do have to do something out on the beach or near water, though. That is coming through strongly, like an unexpected stroll, maybe a winter picnic, something like that. Something, a little silly, a little off kilter, strange, or different. Something that, you guys can laugh about later and reminisce about new memories that you make together. And then we have the Ace of Cups. This is actually very positive as the outcome here. Ace of Cups are about our emotions and our intuition and this new start, this new love, this freshness. So there is this sense that you guys can navigate it, this uncharted time of your life and come through it with this new sense of love and romance, these new people that you're each becoming at this phase of your life. Sorry, I had to pull 3 more cards and I forgot. So doing it right here live on air. So now we're getting a card that represents this person and the potential here, or what they could come out of this as, or what kind of energy. Healing the heart. I love that for you. So perhaps this change has disrupted things a little bit. And you're both in that state of uncertainty and a little bit of fear. Or at least certainly person A has some of that underneath, that unsteady ground kind of feeling. And maybe that's why you're having issues with the self-regulation right now. So take time to do some breathing exercises or things that ground you, that connect you to the earth and bring you back down to an even keel. Person B, birds of a feather. Birds of a feather stick together. 23 and 25. I think person B may need, if there's, okay, here's what's coming through. As part of this whole change, person A may just need quiet time or space at home. So especially if this is a case where person A has always been at home and person B is now retiring or something like that, where they're now at home more, it might be a good idea for person B to take up a hobby or something that's outside of the home in order to give person A that space or some time during the day just alone to rejuvenate, recuperate, take that time to reset their energy or to help self-regulate. They need that space in their life for them. They love you and they want to be around you, but they still need their alone time. And they really want you to have something to focus all of that planning energy and strategic energy that you have with someone else. So this could be a card club. It could be a chess club. For some reason, chess is coming through for a lot of you. but something out of the house, woodworking. Get into something that can occupy your time constructively that you really enjoy doing, and you get to get out and meet people, and it's on a regular schedule, and it makes sense for you. And then for the relationship, quieting the mind. I think that is so each of these things, giving this person the space and time that they need home in their meditation or whatever it is so they can be in peace to do what they need to do, helps them quiet their mind and deal with the self-regulation. Person B is more social, and going out of the house and having this hobby and these other people, that extroverted, a little more extroverted energy, helps them regulate and quiet their mind. And in a way, it feeds possibly the need for more knowledge, the need to keep the mind going and growing in a way that works for them. So where they're learning new strategies and they're using their mind to solve problems. And that helps them quiet their mind and their restlessness. Yes, that feels all right. I like this. Navigating the change. Oh, it's beautiful. And you guys are going to get through this and are going to be very successful here. You complement each other very, very well. Thank you so much for watching. Pile number 1, that's what I have for you. Go forth and soothe each other. And I will talk to you later. Hello to those who selected the air element or pile number 2. A quick note about the air element. It's usually about communication, ideas, beliefs, ideologies, education. So that may be what we tap into most here in this reading. And you may occasionally hear my dog in the background as she likes to wander around when I'm reading. Hopefully she settles in soon. Well, let's start. We're starting out with a card to describe your relationship. And what I'm seeing here is, so we have the land between. You guys may have very distinct beliefs or opinions on things, like you may be different political parties, you may be from different religious backgrounds, or very different educational backgrounds. But you find or have common ground between you. You've created a bridge that allows you guys, or that you both enjoy working from. This is where your relationship is strongly based, is the common ground that you have. And that's a very solid piece between the two of you. Even though we have this chasm in day-to-day life, and people may never expect that if they met you separately, that the two of you would be a couple. But you are, because in a way you complement each other very, very well. And you have this strong tie to each other. Now let's look into person 1A. Trying to be consistent in what I say here. So person A likes to show the happy side of life, or likes to be seen as somebody who has this great enjoyment and is always happy. They don't like to show the darker stuff or the sadder side. They only show that fresh, happy face and joy. But they may also be someone who is always trying to level up their experience and make it bored easily. They don't always like to go to the same place on vacation, for example. They want to try someplace new, or maybe take it up a level on the next vacation. They're always seeking to improve, seeking the next best thing. And sometimes that can leave them feeling a little empty or disappointed. but they don't like people to see their underbelly or the softer side of them. And person B has the connection card. So person B is very invested in this other person. They feel like this is a fated type connection, like they've known them multiple lifetimes, if you will, that you were meant to be together, which is probably why this relationship works. Because there is the sense that you are meant to be together, that this relationship was meant to happen. Now let's see what each person needs to heal to take the relationship to the next level or deepen it. Person A, higher power. So I'm reading this as, again, that always seeking that next high, that next, you may engage in things that are like higher risk things like skydiving, bungee jumping, or splurging. The need to always take things up to the next level. Yes, a higher power is something you should seek. On the surface, it looks like a positive thing. But if you're using it as an escape or a way to avoid having to feel things or delve deeper into the emotions or the shadows, that's where it becomes a problem. Because you have to feel those things. You have to express them. You have to give them the freedom and set them free from your own energy. Let them go in order to give yourself more chances to feel ecstasy, even in the common everyday tasks. Person B, transformation. So person B may need to, for healing transformation, there may be a fear of transformation here, where they're holding on very tightly to the relationship, to this sense of being fated or connected here. To this need to have this relationship work. You need to disconnect a bit for that or find yourself within the relationship. You need to be your own separate person here. And transform your mindset a bit. Turn the focus inward. Turn the focus on yourself, your focus on yourself and your growth within the relationship. And don't ignore what your needs are in order to please the other person, because that does not lead to long-term success. Okay, let's see what the hopes and fears are. We have options being kept open and ignoring the pain. I was disillusioned and underlying motives. So the outer ones are hopes, inner ones are fears. So for person A, we have that options are kept open, and I don't know this will work well. I can't tell if it's super reflective for you. There we go. So options are kept open is a hope, right? That need to seek out. You want, what if something better came along? That kind of attitude with pursuing that ecstasy emotion all the time, that state of ecstasy. There may be a sense of dissatisfaction or the thought that if you can keep options open, oh, okay. So what else is coming through is maybe less planning and keeping options open when you're going on a vacation. Maybe the only thing you do is pick a location or a direction and don't pick a destination. And then you just get in the car and go. Okay, so it's a little bit more about not being so rigid in planning things and not being stuck in the norm or stuck in the usual or stuck in the typical day-to-day things. You're seeking more of a sense of adventure within the relationship, or that's what you hope for. And a fear is ignoring the pain. And this is part of what you need to work on healing. You need to stop seeking always things that are adventures, um, actions, things that allow you to repress or push down and ignore the pain. This is part of what you need to heal, is giving yourself the space to feel that pain, to feel doubt, to feel fear, to recognize that, to let it flow through you and out of you so it doesn't stay stuck inside you and just grow. You need to give it space and room to release and heal. And don't keep ignoring it because all that does is let it grow. Person B, a hope is that they were disillusioned. So I don't know if this is a disagreement or just a concern that they have that maybe what they thought was a sacred connection, maybe the other person didn't. And that doubt is what they're hoping they're wrong about. I hope that made sense. The fear is that it's all going to come crashing down in a way, but the hope is that that is not what's going to happen here. That this is meant to be, and that their fear that they have to hold on so tight, or their feeling that they have to hold on tight, is a delusion, and that they can ease up and not be quite so, I don't know, and clingy is, I'm sorry, but clingy is the word that's pushing through. And this is where you need to step in and do some of that shadow work and focus more on what's making you happy and what do you need out of this, and ease up some of that tension here. The fear is an underlying motive. So I don't know if person B has come from a relationship in the past where they were very, very disillusioned and where the other person or other party in that relationship did in fact have underlying motives. And there was deception there. And it did not end well. And they're carrying that over into this relationship, which might be why they have that need to cling to what this is. Because this feels like the right partner to them. It feels like this connection to them is meant to be. But then they've had these experiences in the past that causes this push, pull of fear within them. Or fear wrapped into hope, wrapped into fear. Okay. So definitely some healing on transforming that stuff, that past, and letting go of the past, healing those wounds to help ease and give you more confidence in who you are, which will help ease that tension, that dichotomy that's going on here in this relationship. Okay, let's see what the tarot has for you. I'm being urged to cut again, so I'm going to do that. Okay, over here we have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Person A, they're not seeking perfection. You're not looking for perfect under the covers. That's not what you want. In part because that removes some of that sense of adventure, right? That sense of fun, of discovery. You like working on the problems, even though you don't always show that. There's this need to be honest with each other about how you like to process things, how you like to handle things under the surface. This could also be related a lot to the home life. So there may be projects or something. You don't like projects, home projects, fixing things. So maybe you guys need to, if there's some tension around the home life or where you live, Person A may prefer more of a low maintenance living situation. So maybe a condo or a townhome. That might be something that you want to bring up and talk about. Person B, Four of Swords. You got to open up and keep open that communication. This isn't the time to sleep on things. If you're thinking something or having ideas, these thoughts start surfacing again, you need to acknowledge them. You need to bring it up. You need to talk yourself through it, or talk to someone, or talk to your person and open up those discussions. But don't delay in that stuff, because then it's just going to sit and percolate in your head. And then in the middle here, we have Queen of Pentacles. So if things stay the same, this relationship may not survive, because you guys aren't communicating how you really feel or what you really think, out of fear of hurting or, disappointing either side. That's part of this chasm between you. Because this is about nurturing and being happy with what you have. And right now, there is this sense that you guys are not happy with what you have, that you're not content. Let's see how we can bridge this one. Fresh ideas, new thoughts, inspiration. So person A may have some ideas on how this can happen, how you guys can fix this, what you can do to um, spark that discussion or have that conversation. This might be even one of those card games, Crimes Against Humanity, strange things like that, game nights. But things that spark discussion and conversation. Person B is looking to find balance, a work-life balance, or at least balance in some way. Maybe balance in the relationship, the give and take of the relationship. Yeah. There may be a concern for them that person A is always trying to go outside of the relationship to find that fun, to find that joy. And maybe you go out a lot, or even with some personal friend groups, where this person does not feel like they fit in or that they connect with that. And they're okay with you doing that, but they would like more balance, or maybe even excursions just with the two of you. But perhaps these game nights or whatever this is that person A comes up with might be what is needed here to help bring this balance. Nine of Swords, though, as the final card. There's a lot of anxiety, worries, fears about the outcome of this relationship on both sides. You both have doubts. You're both worried. You guys need to talk. You need to speak. You need to maybe build another bridge between these two distinct sides. Let's see what else we have for Oracle. For person A, close encounters. Setting more connections at this, the need to feel this free, right? This ecstasy feeling. You can help build that up some with close encounters with your person. By freeing up your fears. By letting yourself out of that cage, that pretty gilded, beautiful looking cage. and giving yourself the freedom to feel more deeply, to soar when it comes to truly connecting with your partner. And person B, exposed and revealed. Person B needs to stop feeling protective of the relationship and lay it out there. Tell the other person how you feel. Tell the other person what you fear. You guys need to have that discussion. Swords are an air element. And again, they are about communication, ideas, education. Communication, especially in this case. With this Nine of Swords, you guys are reaching a tipping point, or may by the end of this year reach this tipping point if you don't start having honest conversations and being open to each person's needs, point of views, ideas about your relationship. That's an area to focus on. Now let's see what this last card is about the relationship. Feeling the world. Feeling the world. The potential for this relationship is vast. It's big, but you both have to open up. You both have to communicate what your needs are. And you both have to be open to change, to compromise. More compromise than you've done so far. If you each really want it to work, it's going to require work on both sides. But the potential is definitely there. You have the whole world in your hands, as it were. But you need to connect with each other and build more bridges and strengthen that in order to be in this long term. Okay, pile 2, your air element. There is a work ahead, but there is strong potential in this relationship. But you have to be willing to do the work. And I wish you well and send hope and love. I'll talk to you later. Hello, pile 3, or those who selected the fire element. A quick note on the fire element. So this is going to be something where it is fiery, passionate, vivacious, bold. These could be two people that are very passionate about each other, about the relationship. Or it could be very much where they're butting heads all the time and arguing, where it's very hot and cold type relationship. It could also be just all about the passion and love. Let's see what the cards have to say. These are pre-selected and ready to go. So about the relationship, it is what it is. So there's this sense this might be a turning point in the relationship. It could be that you guys are trying to decide if you want to continue or not. Or you're settled. You're very much settled in the relationship. It feels like old hat. You know how what each of you are doing, and you're into a lot of routine, and it is what it is. Or you've just agreed to stay in the relationship for something other than love. Maybe children, um, maybe because you've been together so long, so why not? But let's see what else we can learn. Person A, initiation. So this person may be starting or getting involved in something that's new to them. They may be looking to spark things again in the relationship. They may be the person in the relationship that always takes the first or makes the first move, the initiator, or they've evolved into that role. I don't know if they were that way originally, but where you're at now, they may be the one who usually initiate things. Okay, person B, greatness. So person B may have a great sense of pride or take great pride in their appearance and how people view them. They may be very successful in their career or in some area of their life where they have a very strong reputation. And that might be a reason for staying together, is for the sake of appearances. Interesting. Let's see what you each need to heal. Person A, watch for signs. So it could be that person A is always looking for a sign, looking for a reason, looking outside of themselves for validation on what to do next and where to go. They may be obsessed with finding that. They may wait to make decisions based on the signs that they see, and they need to focus more on their body, on internally how they feel about it, instead of seeking that external validation. Person B needs to heal. Slow it down. They're always moving, always grooving, always going, always out and about, always away from home, which would be part of why there's this distance growing or this stagnant sense to the relationship between these two people, because this person's always off doing something and you're losing that intimacy here in your relationship, that sense of closeness. So this person has this sense that they're always having to chase after or do things to get the attention of this other person. This person here doesn't step it up and step back into the relationship. That's it. I do feel like it's going to end. And I don't think they really want that. But it's like they're off in a huff in some ways. And sometimes you need to stay home and work it out instead of taking off somewhere and then ignoring the problem, because it doesn't fix it. It doesn't go away. It's still there. It still needs to be addressed, especially if you want to keep this relationship together. Hopes and fears. Let's see what we have. Well, these aren't very good for hopes and fears, is it? Looks like a lot of fears. Yeah. So person A, you don't love me. That's where they're at right now. That's how they feel right now. Because you're always going off. Person B is always going off. Instead of staying and trying to talk through it, instead of trying to just listen and be present for the other person, you're off talking to someone. You're probably texting while they're pouring their heart out, while they're trying to talk to you about a problem. That doesn't foster a sense of security. And someone has unmet needs. Yeah, person A in this case has some unmet needs. They also feel like maybe they're not meeting person B's needs, and they may not be. It could be that person B just wants to get out more with person A, but person A staying home or staying in, or again being influenced by these external signs and people that have nothing to do with the relationship itself and how to mend it, how to grow together. You need to talk to each other and trust yourselves in your own intuition within your own body. Person B, lies and partial truths and the inevitable. So it sounds like person B feels as if there's something that person A has held back on or has not been truthful about. I'm trying to feel into here. Yeah, okay. Because you're always seeking someone else's advice. And it might be a specific person that you are always, person A is always going outside of the relationship to get that advice. They're not seeking it from their partner. They're not trusting themselves. They're leaning too heavily on someone else outside of the relationship for advice, for signs, for information to help them make decisions about their relationship. So, in a sense, person A has invited a third person into their relationship, and person B is not liking that at all, which is part of why they're going out. They're getting out of the house and away because they're frustrated and they're angry and they're feeling like this is inevitable, that you guys are going to split or just eternally be divided under the same house. This is not a healthy situation for either party. Let's see what the tarot cards have for you or for the relationship, I should say. The King of Wands in reverse. So person A feels like they have no power. That's because you keep giving the power away to that external person, the external source. You need to trust your own power, your own fire, your inner fire, your own passion. How do you really feel about your partner? And you need to understand that within yourself. Do you lean in when you're thinking of them, or do you lean back and away? You know your body. You know your emotions. Stop asking somebody else. Person B, the Knight of Wands. They have things that they would be willing to explore, but they're not confident in this relationship, so they are holding back. They've essentially put a freeze on this relationship from their perspective. Wands are a fire element, and the fire is fizzling out here. With these two cards in reverse, the fire is not there. And in the middle, we have the King of Swords. So the swords are about communication, and this is where there is no emotional involvement. It's all about the facts and the logic, making quick, swift decisions, irrevocable decisions. They're final, and that's where you're heading to, is instead of using the emotion, the connection that you guys used to have, now we're just using logic. That's the sense of where I was getting, where it feels like you're together because it's expected, not because you want to be anymore. Where your emotional relationship is pretty much done and over, and you're just together on paper. Very much sword energy. And then we have the Justice card in reverse. This is not good. This is this is a sense that it's just not going to work out, that the scales will never be balanced, that will never come back into balance as a couple, that we're not going to see eye to eye in this relationship. That each side is always going to feel like they're getting the short end of the stick. And we have the Six of Cups in reverse. Normally, this is about giving and receiving energy in a positive way, of reminiscing. Cups are about our emotions. And this is in reverse. There's that sense of this is a lost connection, that there isn't any hope, that you guys are disconnected on an emotional level. So you guys have options depending on what you want to do. We have the Seven of Cups. And you guys, this means that you guys need to make a decision. There are many decisions, but you need to make it more from an emotional place than you have been making it. You need to step out of this King of Swords energy and into the Cup energy. What would make each of you happy? Is there any choice here where staying together makes you happy? Both sides. Where you could rekindle things. What are your options? You guys need to sit down together and seriously discuss where you're at and how you each feel about the other, about the relationship, and how you feel about the future of this relationship. Stop ignoring it. Stop keeping you both suspended in just this state of apathy almost in this relationship, where neither of you can move forward. You're at an impasse and kind of like stuck in between. For person A, we have the Sacred Reverence card. What I'm feeling out of this is the need to nurture your own sacredness, a need to step into your body, your experience, without any other input, and unlock those shadows, unlock those doors to your shadows. Why do you feel this way? Why are you frozen in place? Why are you punishing yourself? Why are you doing that? Only you have the key to unlock your heart here. And it would benefit you whether this relationship continues or not to do this. So person B, we have the Rose's Kiss. This person may already have someone else in their orbit that is ready to swoop in as soon as this relationship is over. That's what I'm feeling from this. There is another relationship, excuse me, hoping my voice holds in this person's future. There's another possibility out there. And that might be part of what person A fears. But you need to speak up if this is something you want to continue. And you need to speak from the heart, and it needs to be only your emotions. No input from anyone else. Where are you right now? They need to know. They don't want to hurt you, but they can't stay in limbo. They need a choice, a decision made. Are you going to set them free or not? Or are they going to have to set themselves free? Or stray, or be tempted away? by someone else. And for the relationship, a grand symphony. So the card itself is saying there could be some potential feelings left to nurture, but it's a long road. It's a long song. It's going to take a lot of work. I don't know if it's worth the effort. Only you two know if it's worth the effort. And it does feel like most of the work is going to be on person A's side to step back fully into the relationship and fight for the other person. The other person is still open to it, but they're tired of fighting for it, which is why they started stepping out. They're not happy right now. And they know at this point there's nothing they can do to make you happy, because that has to come from within person A, not person B, not anyone outside. Person A needs to make person A happy and then determine if this relationship is something that they want. But if the work isn't done and done soon, person B is just going to be done and there won't be any coming back. And I wish I had something better and brighter and with more confidence to tell you, but it's not an easy road. But the possibility is there if you do the work. Okay, pile 3, the fire element. Again, that passion feels strong. That was how you started this relationship. It might also be how you got to where you are now with that hot temper on each side, at least in the past. It feels like that's tempered down or matured in the relationship, but person A has lost a lot of themselves somewhere along the way. Their confidence and trust in their own feelings. And only person A can recover that. Okay, I will stop beating the dead horse. That is what I have for you. I wish you luck and healing, no matter what the outcome is. Thank you so much for watching, Pile A. Pile 3, Fire Element. I will talk to you later. Hello to those of you who selected the Water Element or Pile 4. A note on the Water Element before we get started. Water is typically associated with flow or our emotions and intuition. So this could be a reading that has to deal with the depths of the emotions that each person has in this relationship, or that this relationship brings out in each person. Well, let's get into the cards and see what they have to say. So this card represents the relationship, a burst of magic. Well, this is a positive start. This relationship feels magical or has this sense of joy, of it's like things are always new and fresh and magical for both of you on both sides of this relationship. It's a beautiful thing, this connection that you two have and confidence. Okay, let's get into the other cards. So person A. Cards are sticking. Person A, we have the Philosopher's Stone. So this person may seem very big picture, right? Kind of Aquarius vibes. They are maybe a little quirky, unique, and sometimes it might seem as if their head is always in the clouds, if that makes sense. They like to discuss or are into maybe some abstract topics, or maybe even have some abstract views of different things. Very unique individuals. For partner B, we have a mask. That will be my dog here in the background. She's coughing, waking up from a nap. The mask. This person in the relationship is different than they appear to outsiders, right? They have, they may be a very introverted person, but when you do go out to events, when you are out among people, they seem very outgoing and confident and sure of who they are and eager to meet people, but they're really a homebody. They like to just be at home with their person. The one person that, I don't know, they just have this almost intuitive connection to, this psychic connection to their partner, this magical connection to. And they can decompress and feel like themselves and take the mask off when they're at home. There's this complete and utter trust in each other, is what I'm feeling here. But it can be exhausting for them outside of the home, out in public events or work or wherever. But at home, they feel comfortable and relaxed and content. Let's see what each person needs to heal. So, person A, we have the Watch for Signs card. So, you may seek external validation a lot of times, or you may always be looking for signs before you make decisions or as part of making your decisions. And while that's all fine and good, sometimes you may not make a decision until you get a sign. And sometimes you have to realize that you're not always going to get the perfect set of signs when it comes to making some decisions. And you have to trust yourself first. You have to build on your own flame, your own internal compass, intuition, and not look for these external validations in order to proceed. Person B, we have mystery. So part of this mask thing, people can sense that it's not, you're not being your natural self with the mask there. And in some cases, you like fostering that sense of mystery. But I think with the people who have been around you a while, where you still haven't taken off the mask, it's time to start showing them who you really are. Take down that mask. Let them know you're too tired to go out. Take some weeks off. And I don't know if you're all into this, but you don't have to go to bowling every week. I don't know why that's coming up. So if you have a weekly hobby that's out with a group of friends or something like that, and it's every week, and it seems like the season goes on and on and on and on and on, you can take breaks. You do not always have to go out there because it's just draining you. And sometimes you just need a night off or a week off or whatever it is from that activity. And it's okay to do that. Give yourself permission for that. Give yourself permission to seek new hobbies too. I mean, maybe you're not into it, and I'm sorry, but this is the orbit of my family and a big group of introverts who are also into bowling and D&D, Dungeons and Dragons. So these two very different hobbies, right? One which is, well, they're both big on socializing, but in very different ways. It could be that you're very sensitive to sounds and noises, and maybe that bowling hobby, maybe you just need to shift to a D&D type hobby where you're still getting out and mixing with people, which you do like to do. Sorry about that, but it suits you more. And it gives kind of that fun and mystery, kind of geeky sense of satisfaction. There's more to that than I thought there would be. That's cool. But yeah, let the real you come out more and start dropping the mask to find your true tribe, out the people that you want to hang with out with outside of the house versus the ones you always have to put the mask on and you have to shield your true self from. Okay, hopes and fears, commitment. So this is person A. Well, they're very sure. I don't think it's much of a fear here. We have commitment. That's a hope, right? There's a strong sense of hope and the commitment for this relationship. I love this card though too. With the palmistry. So you may even be someone who looks into the astrology. Perhaps you're the one person A who's reading this or watching this. But palmistry and do our charts align, that type of thing. And you're into that. And there's this hope that, yeah, this is a true soul connection, a commitment for life. The fear is you love me, but I don't think that's a fear. I don't think you really have that fear. I think these are two hopes or two. Why would there be a fear of you love me? Maybe because in spite of the fact that they love being at home, they still push themselves to go do something outside of the home. That could be. And it could be that part of it too, because you're always looking for signs. And if certain signs aren't there, that's when you doubt yourself and you doubt things. So this is your own self-doubt coming in here because it's not always perfectly aligned. And it won't be. And that's okay. That's part of a relationship. But your connection is strong and true. And over here, for hopes and fears, we have wrong time, wrong place. I think this is more related to their external activities, not the relationship. And this fear that they are in with the wrong group of people, maybe, or at least for this period of their life. They have some strong connections to, I'm just using my example, to their bowling league. But at the same time, it's a thing that drains their energy. It's not something that keeps it on an even keel or keeps their interest long term throughout the season. And that maybe this is something that they have to figure out how to let go or change or redirect. And then this, I need to reach out. I think this sense is they need to talk to you more about those external activities and what they want to change there, and maybe get your opinion and ideas on what they should look for. Or they're just seeking support. That could also be it too, about how they feel there, which they would get from you. No problem, no doubts there. I feel that their fear is more, again, about these external relationships that are going on. Okay, let's see what we have for tarot cards for our water element here. The King of Wands. Well, that's good. Wands are a fire element. They're about passion, creativity, vivacious and bold. I feel like this is you guys together. Person A may be more of the leader in the relationship, the more outgoing one. If you guys are out with friends, even though they can put on that mask, you're more comfortable in those situations than they are. So there's a sense that you're the more outgoing or the more leadership one, and you may come up or have more bold ideas about other aspects of the relationship and take charge there. On this side, we have the Tower in reverse. So there's no major changes, no pending doom, sense of doom, or anything like that. If anything, it's more of a sense of hope. There's a strong foundation here, and you're building a very solid relationship and future together. And then in the middle, we have the Five of Swords. So there may be times when you guys cross swords or where your communication is off. So the goal here is just make sure you both understand what the other one is saying and where they're coming from. Be clear on the communication. Swords are an air element, and it's about communication, knowledge, and beliefs. It could be that you guys have differing beliefs in one specific area, and you just need to talk through it and understand each side. But try not to win the argument. That's not what this is about. This is just about understanding each person's point of view. And then a little bit more here about they need person B, again, needs to make sure you're communicating your concerns and your desire to change or shift your external circle to a different group or a different area. Express that and let them know. They can help you figure out how to do this, how to go about it, and how to make that shift. Then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So this may be a potential new job or another source of income that could come into this relationship. Maybe a new area that person B wants to get into has to do with a hobby that could be lucrative in the long run. Or person A may have an idea for a business that they want to start, and they need to be able to lean on person B's income or resources for a while until this takes off, or at least the idea of it. This is about discussing those possibilities. It's an ace. It's that initial step, that initial planning. The idea pops in. It's worthy of discussion. Exploring it, assessing it, seeing if you want to take it further. See if you really want to start planning it. So different ideas could be popping in here, and they are worthy of discussion and exploration. Consider the possibilities. Then we have the Six of Cups. This is an emotional connection. Memories that the two of you have together that support each of you, that bring you both joy and comfort. This could be memories perhaps about your wedding. Maybe you have an anniversary coming up. That could be what this is referring to too. Or maybe you're considering taking things to the next step in the relationship. But there's this sense of joy and happiness with where you're at. Then we have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So tens are usually about endings or the end of one cycle and the beginning of something new. In this case, it's in reverse. And again, it's wands. It's about fire and passion. But in upright, it's about releasing burdens and letting things go, or only taking what you need out of this relationship. I think you each have more to give to this relationship, to build on it, to help each other with your burdens, their burdens. and ease things for the other person. Because this relationship isn't ending anytime soon that I can see. You just have that burst of magic going on. Now let's see what we have in the oracle cards here. So for person A, we have a higher view. Riding the owl. Wisdom. Again, I think this has to do with delving into yourself, maybe finding, if you're into it, a spirit animal. Perhaps the owl is your spirit animal. It could be a mouse. Whatever it is that works for you, tapping into the energy of that, maybe to help you make some decisions or get the opinion. How would that animal go about this making some decision? Or why does that particular animal keep coming up when you think of certain things? What does that mean to you? Again, it has to be internal. But taking a higher perspective of your intuition, how your body feels about it, how your heart feels about it. What is your intuition telling you? Not anything outside of you. It has to be about you. Okay. Person B, we have wish upon a star. They're wanting some change in their outside world. What is it that you really, really want, person B? Do you just want to quit bowling and start join a D&D club or some team, whatever it is? I don't personally play it, but join a card club, a chess club, a new fitness routine. What is it that you want? Dream of it. Think of it. What are the possibilities? Make a list of the different things you want to try and then bring it to them and discuss it. Don't limit yourself. What is it that you would rather do? Make a list and have fun with it. Okay, and then what about the relationship? Oh, I love this card. The storyteller. This to me is the feeling of like a legacy relationship, a very long-term relationship where you guys are writing your story together and building this life together and creating your own ending, whatever that might be. But you're going to have a lot of adventures to tell, to share, a lot of wisdom to put into it, and a lot of love. What a beautiful story for you, my water elementals. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy your life together, and I will talk to you later.